Okay guys, so before we go into this tutorial, we are making this dress. Okay, we are making this dress. We're supposed to make this because I made a post. I asked you guys to vote for your next tutorial. You guys voted for this, but I thought, in my head, I thought you guys are going to choose this instead of this. So I started making a tutorial on this one. So when I checked my vote count, and I realized that this one actually got 76% of the vote, while this one got 24% of the vote. So I said, okay, so since it's like that, I've already started the tutorial. I cannot back down now. Okay, so I just have to continue with the tutorial. For those who voted for this one, let me just continue, and then the ones who vote for this one. So once I'm done with this, then I will post this one. This will be the next tutorial. Okay, so I want to talk about the fabric recommendation for this dress. So if you are going to make this dress, you are going to need a hard fabric, like organza. Damax fabric is recommended for you to use to make this style come to reality. Or you can use Ankara. Any hard fabric that you know you can use it. But I will not recommend silk. Silk will not give you this, from most especially the upper part, unless you're going to pad it, or you're going to use interfacing to iron on it. But if you're not intending to use interfacing on it, you are to use a very hard fabric. Okay, so you're going to use a hard fabric. And talking about the inner one, you're going to use something a little bit lighter, but not too light, because for my own I use chiffon. Actually, why I chose the chiffon, because that is the only color I have to mix with the black. I have this black material, so I said, okay, let me use this black and the blue. Let's see, because when I match it together, the combination was actually nice. So yes, so that is why I choose the chiffon. I have to go with the chiffon. So, and again, my pleating was not much, because of the amount of fabric I used 1.5, so which was not enough. So if you want to have this like the original design, you need to have about 2 inches, 2 yard of fabric. Okay, but that 2 yard, you're not using it all because you need to divide it. Okay, we're dividing it into 2 to have a long rectangle. So yes, okay, so yes, that is it. And secondly, yeah, basically that is it for this tutorial. So with that being said, we're going to go into the pattern drafting. Because, so guys, in case you're seeing my channel for the first time, if you're coming across my channel for the very first time, my name is Juliet, and if you're my returning subscriber, guys, thank you so much for sticking around. You guys are doing an amazing job. All right guys, so we are going to get started now with the pattern drafting tutorial. So I hope you have all your tools ready, right? Have your pattern paper, your marker pen, your ruler, your tape, and all of that. So on the table, I have my carbon paper here, and I fold it. Okay, I fold it so that I want to show you how the front of this dress is going to look like. And I have to pin it down because the paper was folding up. Okay, so I have my tape rule here, my armhole curve, my French curve rule. So the first thing I'm going to do here is to create my starting point, which is going to become my shoulder line. Okay, so if you're new to my channel and you haven't seen me draft a pattern drafting tutorial before, so this is how I go about it. Okay, so now I have created my shoulder line. The next measurement I'm going to be taking is my bust point line. Okay, from my shoulder to my bust line is 9.5 inches. I'm going to repeat the measurement twice, so I will have a straight line. So after taking my bust line measurement, the next measurement is going to be my under bust, which is 12.5 inches. And I'm going to repeat this line twice so that I can have a straight line. So if you don't know your under bust line, if you know your bust line, Just mark 3 inches from your bust line down, you will get your under bust measurement. Okay, so now that I got my under bust line, I'm going to be marking my waistline. Okay, from my shoulder to my waistline is 16 inches. I'm using 16 inches because I'm making a dress. So if I'm making a blouse, it's going to be 17 inches. So now I'm creating my waistline here. All right, so the next measurement is going to be my chest line. From my shoulder to my chest line is 8.25. Okay, from shoulder to the chest line is 8.25, and I'm going to repeat this line twice to have a straight line. I'm not going to mark it across, just where you see my marker stop. Okay, so the next measurement I'm going to be taking is my half of my shoulder measurement, which is 7 inches. So I'm going to repeat this line twice. I'm going to place my tape here to mark my half of my shoulder measurement on my chest line, so that I will have a straight line to connect to create my armhole line. Okay, so the next measurement I'm going to be taking is going to be my neck. I'm going to create my neck line. So it's just for the tutorial sake, for you to have a clear picture of what we are doing. So I'm using a standard measurement of neck width and the neck depth, which is 3 by 3 inches. If I'm doing a proper blouse with a neckline, then I'll go into details. But here we don't need a neckline. I'm just going to bypass this part. So to create my shoulder slope from my armhole line there, I'm going to mark 1 inch below. Okay, just that you will see me doing. And I'm going to get my straight ruler to connect it from that point there to meet with my neck width. Okay, so now that I'm done from here, the next thing now I'm going to create my armhole curve. But to do that, I need to mark my bust circumference, quarter of my bust circumference, which is 8.5 inches. And then from my armhole line, I'm going to find the midpoint of my armhole line, which is here. I mark the armhole line there. That is I found the midpoint there. Okay, so and then with this help now, it's going to help me to create my armhole curve. So I'm showing you this because of the tutorial, okay, to get a clear picture. If not, I will just go straight to the point. So next, I'm marking my half of my bust point measurement, which is 3.5. My bust point measurement is 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. I just mark it there, and then I will make my connection. So before I will connect, I will divide from my shoulder here. I will find the midpoint there before I will connect it down. Okay, so I'm going to plate my straight ruler. I'm not going to connect from my bust line straight. I'm just going to leave at least 1 inch down. Okay, going to leave 1 inch down. Okay, it's 1 inch here before you connect, because that is where my dart is going to stop. Okay, so I'm going to connect it like this. Don't create it all the way to the bust line so that you not have that pointed tip on your bust point. Okay, so go down by 1 inch below before you connect all the straight line, just the way you see me doing. If you don't understand what I'm explaining, please just watch it from the screen. Okay, so from my waistline, I'm going to mark 0.5 inch on both sides. Okay, to take my dart. And then from after then, I'm going to connect it to stop where that 1 inch that I marked down. Okay, please just watch carefully. I'm going to connect it like this to create my dart. So guys, you know this dress doesn't have a sleeves. Okay, so we're going to create a new chest line. After I'm done from here, we're going to create a new chest line. From this chest line here, okay, I'm going to go down by 0.5 inch. Okay, that is what I'm just doing here now, and I'm going to mark this line here. So this is my new chest line. I went down by 0.5 inch, so I'm going to level all my lines. Okay, so now that I've got all this done, so the next thing, we're going to be working on the upper region to create that triangle. So first thing I need to do, for my bust line, I'm going to place my tape like this, and I'm going to mark 2 inches above like that. Okay, so from my center front line, I'm going to place my tape there on my bust line. Okay, and then I'm going to mark 4 inches above. So this is where I'm going to use to create this triangle that you're seeing on this dress. So from the both side of where I mark the 2 inches, I mark 0.5 inch on both sides to create the dart from this upper part. So this that you're creating is going to use it to tighten the bust. If it's supposed to be slank, it's going to help eliminate that bulge, or it's going to have that grip, okay, on your chest line, okay. That is why. So that is why you need to create this dart, okay. So now that I'm done connecting all these lines, now I'm going to get my armhole curve and place it like that, okay. From my new chest line, I'm going to connect it to meet that line there, okay. And then I will get my French curve and also do the same thing like this. So now that I'm done from the upper part here, so the next thing now, I'm going to be marking my measurement, imputing all my measurement. My round waist circumference divided by 4 is 7. My bust circumference divided by 4 is 8.5 inches. And that is what I'm going to mark it at my new chest line, okay? So after then, I'm going to get my straight roller and connect this line together. And then afterward, I was supposed to replace my dart intake. I actually forgot. So at the end of the day, it affected my dress. So please don't make that mistake. Remember to replace your dart, okay? And now that I'm done from here now, we're going to work on the back, okay? We need to work on the back. But first thing first, get your another piece of paper, just like you see me having there on the table, okay? So I'm going to trim out this front pattern because I'm going to use this front pattern to trace out my back pattern, okay? So the piece of paper that I kept from my back, I kept allowances of 2 inches for my zip allowance, and that is why you see I have a straight margin line there, okay? So that straight line is going to be a guideline for me, and you also have to do the same thing, okay? So now I'm going to place my front pattern on this back pattern, and then I will start tracing out all the lines that I need to create my back pattern, okay? And make sure when you're tracing everything, make sure you trace both the darts, okay? Trace out both the dart, trace out both the allowances that you kept. I'm going to trace out the my new chest line and my bust line, the waistline, like all the lines. I'm going to trace it so that I can use them as a guideline to create my back pattern.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before the noon. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up for the hall of shame. I wish I knew.
So now that I'm done tracing out these lines, the next I'm going to start marking my zip allowance. From the chest line, I'm going to mark 1.5. From my waistline, I'm going to mark 1 inch, because the 1 inch is the reason is if you want to eliminate the zipper bulge from the waistline, you need to mark 1 inch, okay? So yeah, that is it for here. And then I'm going to, this is my zipper, and then from the side here, move on to the bodies. I'm going to label them so that we'll know that this is my back pattern. Then I remember something that I was supposed to minus the dart that I had from my chest line. So that is what I just did. I minus 5 inches, and then I just make everything equal from the side, okay? So that is what I did. The dart that I have from my chest line is what I took out and then make it equally from my back pattern, okay? I don't know if you understand this part. So now that I'm going to just start taking out, like cutting all the pieces, the wanted part I don't need from my patterns. And here is my front pattern. So this is the reason why I fold my front pattern, so that you understand how, or to get the picture of how the dress is going to look like, okay? So yeah, so this is my front pattern and my back pattern ready. So guys, now I'm going to start drafting my front pattern, and this is a must do something. Keep your pattern paper on fold, okay? It has to be on fold because of the front design, okay? And the next thing I'm going to do now is to create my starting point that I'm going to use as a replacement of my waistline, okay? So I'm going to draw this line so that we can get started. So now I'm going to start by taking my skirt length, okay? So I'm placing my tape from my half length. Okay, my half length is 16 inches. Okay, so my full length of this dress is going to be 33 inches. So I'm placing my tape from the 16 inches to get to my hip line. Okay, from my shoulder to my hip line is 24 inches. So that is what I just marked here. Okay, so the next thing now, my tape is still here. I'm going to take my my dress length. So I'm going to be marking 31 inches first, because the total length of this dress is 33 inches, but I'm marking 31 here because of when you look at the dress, the front skirt part is shorter before the inner ones comes in. Okay, so that front part is why I'm marking 31 inches. Okay, so now that I'm done taking this measurement, and then I'm going to connect all these lines so that we can start drafting the skirt pattern. Okay, I hope you understand my explanation. If you don't understand it, please rewatch it, or if you cannot understand again, just leave your comment below. Okay, so right now I'm taking my waist measurement plus my dart intake, because the down part has a dart. Okay, so quarter of my hip circumference is 10 inches, and then I mark the 10 inches. Then for my skirt hemming part, I mark 10.5 inches. So I added 0.5 inch for ease allowance, because this dress is not fitted, so it's a bit free. Okay, so that is what I just did after connecting all these lines. So the next thing now, I'm going to find the midpoint from my waistline. Okay, so from this point here where I'm touching, so to the midpoint here is 4 inches. Okay, divided into 2 is 4. So I'm going to come down to my hip line and mark that 4 inches there. Okay, and then I'll connect it with a straight line, because I need to create my dart. So right now from my hip line, I'm going to place my tape like you see me doing, and mark 2 inches above. Okay, and then move back to my waistline. I'm going to mark 0.5 inch on both sides. So this is my dart. Okay, mark 2 inches above from your hip line. Whatever thing that remains, take it as your dart. So now I'm going to add my stitching allowance. Okay, and that is it for the front. Okay, now that I'm done, I'm going to unpin it so that we can transfer this. We are going to transfer all this line to the other side. Assuming I have a tracing wheel, then I will just trace it and then draw out the line. But it still doesn't matter. Just follow what I'm doing. Okay, so I need to find out how many inches I have from the other side, and I'm going to replace it here. Okay, so I will connect the hip line straight to this side. Okay, so the same thing goes to the skirt length. Whatever thing you have from the other side, you mark it on this side, and then you connect the straight line. I hope you understand my explanation. So now that I'm done from now, the next thing now, like I said, I will transfer all the darts, all the lines, and the sewing allowance, everything. Okay, so the next thing now, we are going to work on this shape. Okay, by connecting the shape. At first, I got confused on how this shape was made. So right here, I'm using my free hand. I was a little bit nervous. I didn't even know what I was doing. I don't know if I was getting it right. And I went back and watched the picture, and I realized that, oh, this curve was completely wrong. It wasn't made this way. So I was supposed to turn my curve face up. Okay, so here. So this is the actual design. Okay, my curve was supposed to be this way, not the other way that I did in the first place. So now that I got the curve now, I now turn my curve row and started doing the correction. So what you're going to do to understand this is that just know that from this dart here, where the curve is, the curve part is, okay? At least you need the distance between there to the dart should be at least like 3 inches to 3.5 inches, you're good. Okay, you're good to go. And also from the lower part, at the end of the day, I realized that the lower part was too low for me, but it's still okay. So right now I'm cutting out all the unwanted part that I don't need, so that we can start work on the back pattern. So whatever thing you're doing, please remember to add your sewing allowance. Okay, remember to add your sewing allowance. So this is how it's going to look like. Okay, so imagine if it's on your fabric, this is how the front is going to look like. So let me explain about the back pattern to you. So here is my back pattern. I have gone ahead to mark all my lines off camera. I mark my from my shoulder on my waist to my hip line to the skirt length, the darts, and then also I connected, but there was no space for me to add my sewing allowance. Okay, it's not on fold. The back pattern doesn't, you don't have to be on fold. Okay, because you're not doing any design on it. Okay, so the skirt length for the back is 16 inches. I'm going to add more extra 2 inches when I'm going to cut it on my fabric. Okay, so and the front, remember that one side of the front has to be this equal to the back pattern. Okay, so whatever thing you do to the back, if you add 2 inches, add 2 inches to the front pattern also. Okay, so the length that you're going to use for the back, also use it to the one side of the front. I don't know if you understand me. So now I'm going to mark 1 inch from my waistline, 1 inch from my waistline, and 1.5 inch from the hip line. The reason why I mark 1 inch from the waistline is from the to help eliminate the zipper bulge. Okay, and then the 1.5 is because I'm going to use 0.5 to turn my lining and my main piece together. Okay, to the right side. So now I'm going to cut out all the unwanted. So I'm cutting out all the unwanted part that I don't need. Okay, so and remember, please remember to add your joining allowance. If you don't add your joining allowance from the beginning, please remember to add them. So this is my front and my back pattern. So I'm just trying to demonstrate it to show you this is how it's supposed to look like if you have done join your skirt or you're making it. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you learned something new from this channel today, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you don't like it, please leave your comment below. Tell me what you feel like I'm not doing right here on this channel, so that if I improve, you also will get to learn something. Okay, and please, if you're here in my channel for the first time and if you haven't subscribed at this moment, please do me the favor, subscribe, help me share this video, give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy watching it, and yeah, don't forget to turn your notification on so that you get notified when another tutorial will be. Okay, so I'm just labeling this part. From the waist is 1 inch, and then from the hip line to the skirt length is 1.5 inches. Okay, so that is what I just did here, and this is the back pattern. Okay, the front pattern, sorry, this is the front pattern. I just label it also. So basically this is it for the tutorial. I want to say a very big thank you for watching. You're going to yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching from. Okay, remember to add your sewing allowance and your hemming allowance. Okay, so yeah, please do let me know what you think about this video, if there is anything I'm missing out from here, because this is my first time trying this style. Okay, yeah, see ya.